I'm a spirit channeler and oracle card reader who channels both light and shadow energies in my readings, which means if you're easily triggered, please find yourself another reader. Random messages from the vampires. I am burning vampire blood incense, and I will also be using the vampire oracle as well as the horror tarot. So you have 4 piles to choose from left to right, pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pause the video if you need some more time to choose your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So your message from the vampires is that you need some more psychic protection, some more psychic and energetic protection. We start off here with this call for help card and then the nightmare card, psychic protection shield, bad dreams. If any of you guys got in on the candle, the group protection candle that I just did, that was a good call. It is a good start, they're saying, but you actually need to keep going and you need to keep moving forward because you have some kind of persistent energies around you that are constantly causing you stress, anxiety, depression, psychosis, and misfortune in your life, depicted here with this 9 of Swords card and the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Again, anxiety, fear, and stuff like that. They're also physically restricting you, so they're restricting your manifestations with that 8 of Swords there, and then the 7 of Swords, of course, they're blocking them, they're stealing them. There's a lot of mental deception going on with the 7 of Swords next to the Knight of Swords, so lots of Swords energy here. So a lot of mental and psychic manipulation and blockages that are coming. You're being attacked. So if you were feeling that you were being attacked and you're not going crazy, I just got another sword card here, the Ace of Swords. So definitely it's saying that definitely this is the info that you've been missing, the piece of the puzzle you've been missing. You've been wondering why there's calamity, why you've been feeling low energy lately, or why you've been feeling mentally unstable and stuff like that. Of course, disclaimer, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just speaking in terms of the energy and energetically. That's what I can speak on, and I'm seeing psychic attacks. So why? Let's look into why a little bit. So I already pre-pulled these cards. I'm going to get some more information. Let me just see here. I know I can't see all the cards, but don't worry about it. I'm seeing entities who think that you owe them something. Okay, with that courtesy card, and then these 2 out of the 3 tarot cards here that I pulled, it's like with the 3 of Pentacles reverse, it's like you're supposed to be working with them. With the 5 of Pentacles reverse, again with that courtesy card and the death rites, it's like you're supposed to be giving them offerings or something and you're not doing that. I'm trying to figure out if it's coming from your family line. Let's see. Judgment. No, it's not coming exactly from your family line for most of you guys. This is something, it has to do with yourself. I have the Hermit, I have the Judgment. It's like soul related, something to do with on the other side. Like they're on the other side, but it's like, why? This is something specific to you. Why do they think this is the picture that I'm getting is a bit nefarious. I am seeing for some reason, some kind of jealous, envious energies. There's a small percentage of you guys where no, I'm not. Am I even seeing that? Hold on, let me double check. Were any of these sent? No. Yes, they're all from pre-incarnation. So none of these are stemming from any person who's alive. So if you're thinking like, oh, I know who it is, like someone hexed me or whatever like that, no. That's just like a front or like a cover up for what's really going on. Like, you know, like when someone will put forward a face of, I don't know, organization or a company, but there's really someone else calling the shots behind the scenes who you can't see. It's kind of like that. So if some of you guys thought that, oh, there's someone in real life, I know who it is, who actually cursed me or whatnot, or cursed my family, whatnot, that's a bit of a face, a front for what's really going on. That's behind the scenes. That is all pre-incarnation. That's soul level, and it's kind of to distract you so you don't know exactly which way to look. Because if you don't exactly know who you're looking for or which way to look, then you're less likely to handle the problem. Because if you're not looking directly at the source, anything that you really do, any kind of counter spells or whatnot, or protection that you send out or you put on yourself to attempt to counteract or block the incoming attacks might be in vain, because you're going to be thinking they're coming from a different source than they're actually coming from. So whilst incarnated, you have absolutely no idea who these people are, who these beings are. I am feeling like a group of them who share similar energies, and for whatever reason they feel like you owe them something. Again, this is probably coming from past lives, some kind of grudge that they're holding against you, something that you did to them or they did to you, or some kind of squabble. And they're currently not incarnated. You are currently incarnated here with this outsider card I'm seeing. So they're definitely outside of the matrix I'm seeing, and obviously they're coming in it to mess with you from time to time, and then they're retreating. So all that to say, you definitely need stronger protection. You definitely need some assistance with that call for help card. Let me see if I can see who you. Free will, sovereignty, independence. Okay. Whoa, that one just flipped out. Call the night during adventure excitement. I'm all seeing individualistic cards. Because I was trying to figure out, okay, it says call for help, backup, whatever. Like, okay, so who are you going to ask? I'm getting these very individualistic cards, so you kind of need to do it yourself. Asking maybe other practitioners to do things for you won't really help. Asking other entities to help you, I'm seeing for the vast majority of you guys, are not going to help. So you kind of need to rely on yourself and your own power and to do it yourself. So you can't really be relying on any kind of outside source. So if up until now you've been relying on outside sources for assistance, and nothing has really been stable or consistent with the effects, positive effects, that's why. Because getting like a third party, or trying to get a third party, getting a third party to do it, or getting third party assistance, whether they're incorporated or disincorporated, it's not really going to work in this instance. Man, the cards are just like flying out for you guys. I am seeing some kind of collaboration, because we do have that call for help card here. But with these other three cards that I pulled here, I am seeing some kind of collaboration. But you have to be very careful, and in the way you use these energies and entities, it's for energy, because I do have this Knight of Wands card here in my hand. It's for energy, extra energy, to fuel a spell or some kind of energy that you're putting out yourself in order to amplify it. So it's for amplification, it's not for substitution. So when you're getting assistance, when you're getting aid, you can't really use them for substitution, because I'm not seeing that being effective. It needs to be for amplification. And there's also some I'm getting a lot of death here, like symbolic death. Heavy, you guys could have a strong Scorpio placement in your chart. Working with the death entity or energy, maybe the Grim Reaper will help. But there's some kind of message here about like seeing something from a different perspective. Not that you necessarily need to understand where these beings are coming from. If you want to, sure, I don't subscribe to that. Especially since you can't remember, you have the amnesia while you're here. So it's not really an equal playing field. There is something about, if you want something done, look at what is blocking it. Look at the shadow aspect of it. Look at what is opposing it, and the answers or your assistance is going to come from remembering or taking into consideration what could be opposing a specific desire or that you want to manifest, what in any area of your life, but specifically when it comes to protection and counterattacks. Look at the other end of it, because something about looking directly at what you want and trying to go directly after what you want may prove to be less effective because of the manner of the attacks. So I'm seeing something about your energy, your powers are more ending. Like, again, I'm seeing a strong Scorpio placement here. It's more of a ending, more of a completion, more of a degradation, more of a absorption type of energy. So instead of trying to do something, why don't you try removing any kind of blockages to the desire, to the manifestation? Keep that in mind. That may assist you. So overall, your message from the vampires is you need to amp up your protection and your counterattacks because you are being psychically attacked. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 2. Welcome to your reading. So your message from the vampires is that you guys are doing something simply because someone close to you is doing it and feels that you should do it, and that feels like you should be good at it. But and then therefore you feel like you should do it and should be good at it. But in reality, you would rather do something else. But most of you guys are not entirely sure what that something else is yet, because you're still in the thing that you think you should be doing because other people are doing it and think that you should be doing it. So as of right now, you're not really aware of what the thing is that you really should be doing. So the strongest vision I'm having here, obviously this is not going to apply for all of you guys because this is a general reading, but specifically the people who this reading is really meant for are, I am seeing someone with a sibling, specifically 2 sisters, who are underage and who are taking part in some kind of extracurricular activity. I'm heavily seeing music. It could be some kind of sports or other kind of extracurricular activity that, with practice could lead to you guys becoming professionals. And it's some kind of group activity. So it's either the activity itself involves a group, like gymnastics, for example, or it's just that you and your sister are doing it together and you guys are going to classes and you're taking those classes obviously in groups like ballet, whatnot. So that's a specific message I'm seeing for, the specific people that this reading is meant for. The rest of you guys, it will be something along those lines. You would need to figure it out for yourself. You know, you have the sibling. I'm going to keep speaking in terms of the specific situations I'm seeing. You have the sibling. They themselves are really good at this thing. They themselves truly, really enjoy this thing. And we're just kind of grouped into them because you guys are so close in age, or you might even be twins. And it's like you just kind of got lumped into it, and you didn't really get asked, oh, what do you truly want to do? Where you just kind of expected to do it together. It could be acting. I'm seeing something in the performing arts. You're expected to perform after a while, after some time of practicing and taking classes with this thing. So you don't actually want to do it. Your niche, your actual thing is something else, but there's a small percentage of you guys who may know what it is, but most of you guys, I'm seeing that you can't really figure out what it is. Like, I'm seeing kind of like a barrier here, where it's because you're spending so much time practicing this specific task, this specific hobby, this thing. You haven't gotten into the mindset yet where you would be a magnet type, kind of, to attract the information or the essence of what the skill, the task, the hobby, what that is for you, what it truly is for you. So basically, it's something else. It's not what you're currently doing. Let's see if we get a little bit more information. The sun, transformations, endings. There was a death card. Something is ending soon. Knowledge, learning. You do have to learn what it is. That transmission card keeps wanting to pop up. I'm gonna put it there. They're the twins right there. So let's see. This is coming to an end soon, though. Something's going to happen soon that's going to take you out of this hobby. Like, you're going to almost fall into the other hobby, like the other thing that you want, that you need to be doing. And quite frankly, I'm not seeing it being like a happy occurrence. Like, I do have this her last day in the sun card, or last day in the lights. Okay, I'm going to move these over. And then I have the sun card. But the thing is, I'm not seeing it being happy. It's like I'm seeing, especially since this information is coming from the vampires, I'm seeing like some kind of calamity, or something's going to happen that's going to force you to stop taking part in this hobby and this thing. Look, I do have the Five of Wands here in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. So you're not going to be able to do this competition anymore. So you might maybe break a limb or fracture something, or hurt your hand, your playing hand, or you might get kicked out of a class or a competition. You might get disqualified. I'm seeing some kind of ending here. Where it's out of your control. It's you being injured, disqualified, or something along those lines, and it's going to force you to not be part of this hobby anymore. So it's not going to be the happiest occurrence, but it's obviously going to lead to this happy occurrence with that sun card. In the end, when you do find your niche, where you do find what it is you actually want to do, your true hobby, this skill of yours, you're going to be much happier in the end. So I do see a separation later on between you and this other person who is forcing you to do this hobby, or who you were forced to do it with, whether it be your sister or something like that, your mother. Death rights. I got another death card, came out again. It's definitely coming to an end very soon. Immortal. Consuming, look at this. Consuming family, pressures of peers, religion. You might come from a religious or very strict family where you guys need to do everything together. again, with this family pressure, peer pressure, you're being pressured into it. I am seeing parents forcing two sisters to do a hobby. This is what I'm seeing for this group. Again, if that's not specifically it for you, you need to figure it out yourself, because specifically I'm seeing this reading for someone who is underage. You got a twin sister or sister who's like 2 years max age difference, and you guys are like in some kind of music class, or you're in ballet, or you're in acting, or it could be sports. Okay, your niche is something else, and I am seeing a small calamity coming. So either disqualification or injury or something like that is going to lead to you not being able to compete, or not being able to be part of that, at least temporarily, if not permanently. Okay, and then, but it will lead to you finding what you truly want to do, and then hopefully your parents will understand and will put you in the classes or the groups for the thing that you actually want to do, even if it means you're going to be separated from your sister. Okay, so those are your messages. I hope that helped you and hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 3. Welcome to your reading. So your message from the vampires is that you need to practice your independence. Practice your sovereignty. You guys have a tendency to fall back on a belief that things are fated or destined, or that there are movement in the stars that make things predisposed to occur or predisposed not to occur, and that sort of stuff. But you need to get into the mindset here, the new mindset, that actually there are no movements in the stars. There's no such thing as fate, no such thing as destiny and that sort of stuff. That you create your own destiny, and that you can make up your own mind, and that you can move your life down a trajectory that you so choose, and that you don't have to rely or wait on some kind of permission or some kind of outside force, or some kind of collaboration, or some kind of cooperation from some sort of outside force. So a lot of you guys probably grew up in a religious household where it was programmed into you that everything is predestined for you, and that God knows best, and that you can't move without God's permission and without his hand and intervention and that sort of stuff. And even though you may feel like, oh, I don't practice those beliefs anymore, it's still wedged in your subconscious. And also it wouldn't help if you grew up in a household where your parents didn't allow you to make any decisions for yourself, so you always had to ask them permission for stuff. And I get it, like, kids are kids and you gotta ask your parents permission, but it made it even worse for you guys, because there's something stemming back from a past life where you were kind of trapped and had to rely on some kind of outside source, whether that be another human being, another group, another tribe, or an entity. And then that got brought over here. And then if you, of course, grew up in that religious household, then you had to rely on that entity again. And then to top it off, the cherry on top of the cake, your parents didn't let you make any decisions, and you had to rely on them for everything as well. So that is programmed into you. It's shaping the way that you face reality, the way that you live your life. So you actually need to get out of that habit. You need to work, train yourself, practice getting out of that habit and getting into the habit of making decision, and then forcing life to move itself in that trajectory, and to move itself to align and for everything to fall into place, into the basket that you chose. You may feel like, okay, like I kind of like, you have to make specific decisions. Like, instead of thinking, okay, it would be I need a job, for example. Be specific. What kind of job? What kind of hours do you want? How far do you want it to be from your home? What will be the nature of your responsibilities? What will be your pay rate? What kind of coworkers? What kind of boss? Blah blah blah. kind of environment. You guys have a tendency to just be like, okay, I need a job, period, and then kind of leave it up to the universe. Of course, when you grew up in the religious background, it was like leave it up to God, or leave it up to if you grew up with strict parents, leave it up to your parents. And then you got older as an adult, and now it's like leave it up, and you kind of steered away from religion, I'm assuming, and now it's just kind of leave it up to the stars, leave it up to the universe type of thing. And it's just another term for the same type of energy that has been persistent with you from past life, and you need to train yourself out of that. So it's like an untraining that you need to do. So instead of just saying, okay, I need a job, and just leave the details, the when, even the when, the where, all that, and the details, leave it up to the universe or God or whatnot. You guys need to outline the details for yourself, and be fervent and firm that is what you want, and therefore that will eliminate all the other options. Because I'm kind of seeing like the Seven of Cups, where you have a bunch of options, and it's like instead of picking one, you're kind of just leaving it up to fate to pick one for you. You can't do that anymore. You need to instead, when you see all of those options, you need to narrow them down. Seven of Swords. You need to narrow them down and make firm decisions for yourself. It's about sovereignty here for you guys. Independence. Oh my god. Seven of Cups underneath the deck. I love this. I know I'm going to take it out because I was just talking about it. Seven of Cups underneath the deck. I love that. Let me put it up. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Seven of Cups, lots of options, and you're just kind of leaving it up to chance, to destiny, and to kind of choose for you. You need to instead narrow it down until you only have one cup. And yeah, there might be slight wiggle room and variations within the same cup, but overall it's very specific. It's a specific cup. It's one cup. Do you know what I mean? So like when you're trying to pick something, or you're trying to manifest something, usually when you like, I need a new car, there are thousands of kinds of cars out there. Have you narrowed down the brand and the model, even at least? Have you narrowed down the year? Have you narrowed down the color? Have you narrowed down the when? Because if you don't narrow down the time frame, then you still have these 7 cups of like 7 at least different time frames that it could come in. You got to narrow it down. So you got to narrow everything down to where you can hypothetically or metaphorically think that, okay, I have 1 cup now. So if you kind of think about it and you're like, oh, I think I still have several cups, you need to keep narrowing it down until you can feel that, okay, I have 1 cup. So yeah, with the Seven of Swords, there's like some kind of energy of things being stolen, or a kind of deception here with that Judgment in reverse. It's like something that's persistent, a karmic pattern of things being ripped away from you energetically. And it's because you're kind of giving up your power to this outside force and source. And this outside force and source that you've given your power to is a leech. It's a type of vampire, and it doesn't give back. It just takes and takes. If you felt also drawn to Pile 1, you guys are kind of like cousins in a way. Whereas Pile 1 had a very serious problem with entity attacks. You guys don't have this problem unless, of course, you also felt drawn to that pile, and that you came to this pile from that pile. Then, of course, that pile still stands. But for those of you who didn't feel called to that pile, for you guys, you don't have that problem, so to speak. But what it is that because you're giving your energy away to this outside source that you're giving it away to does not give. It just takes. So again, if you came from Pile 1, that force that takes that I'm describing here in this pile, it are those attacks that I was talking about in that pile. It's those kind of leeches, those like vampires specifically. Now we're getting to the core of like what they are and what they're doing there. If you came from that pile, it's this kind of egregore that you created or that one could say maybe that you didn't create. It's kind of like this void. You can think of it as a void or a black hole where it just kind of sucks everything and it doesn't give anything back out, and that's just its nature. And you've given your power away to this big black hole, black void egregore. So yeah. So yeah, you gotta specify, you gotta train yourself to be independent, and untrain yourself from being passive and reliant on an outside source for information and for decision making, because we do have the Two of Swords there, and also we still have the Seven of Cups. So you need to make your own decisions, and you need to specify until you have one cup, okay, instead of several. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. So your message from the vampires actually has something to do with your love life and some kind of illusion when it comes to either being happy in a relationship or being happy single when you actually want to be in a relationship. First I was trying to figure out, like, are you guys like in a relationship or are you not? Because I'm picking up like kind of 50-50, and funny enough, I pulled the Nine of Cups, but then underneath the deck I have the Ten of Cups. So it's like part of you guys are single and feel like you're happy with that Nine of Cups, and the other part of you guys are in a relationship with that Ten of Cups and again feel that you're happy, but there is some issue here. Let me see if I can get some more information. Okay, let's do a quick split so I don't confuse myself. Let's start with those of you who are in a relationship. What's going on? Wow, cards are flying out. Lots of swords. And I got the Nine of Cups in reverse underneath the deck. So those of you who are in a relationship, there's like some kind of issue here where it's like there's stress or burdens in it. Talking it out is not exactly working. You're hoping one day talking out is going to work. I'm seeing something kind of hidden underneath the surface. There might be some kind of domestic abuse here for some of you guys, or manipulation. It might be verbal manipulation, some kind of manipulation. Some of you guys here, there's someone who's always, obviously your romantic partner, is frequently giving you gifts to appease you, to maybe end arguments or to stop you from being too lonely, because I do have that outsider loner card here. So someone here is kind of lonely, and I thought that, okay, maybe that's the people who are single. But some of you guys who are in a relationship, the half of you guys who are in a relationship could actually be lonely. Maybe your partner is always working, but they frequently give you gifts to kind of keep you under wraps. Again, with that Four of Swords, like to keep you placated. But you're not happy. There are some kind of burdens, there's some kind of issues there. Something, again, yeah, something buried, something that you guys need to work on. Yeah. If you guys are not happy in the relationship that you are in, you don't need me to tell you this. You're just I guess deluding yourself, or you're trying to prolong the inevitable divorce or separation, that you're no longer happy. Here we have the Star in reverse and we have the Seven of Cups. You're looking for other options and other partners, or your partner is looking for other options and other partners. Doesn't necessarily matter who it is, because there's no harmony here anymore. So someone or both of you guys are not happy. It's like a false happiness type of thing. It's like you're going with the motions. Okay, let me give her gifts and or vacations, or let her buy whatever she wants, and then hopefully that will give the illusion of happiness. It's like this kind of illusion of happiness when it's not true happiness. Yeah, I have this Five of Wands here in reverse, and I have this Hanged Man. It's kind of like fighting but keeping it buried underneath the surface, or being angry with things that your partner does or that they don't do, but like not talking about it, or talking about it and it being ignored, and fights or disagreements being shoved under the rug type of thing. Some of you guys may have tried counseling. I do have the Hierophant here, and you may have tried working on it. And this is also saying that some of you guys would benefit from counseling and working on it with the Hierophant and the Eight of Pentacles. Getting professional assistance for some of you guys may help, but for others of you guys, you just need to call it quits. So that is the half of you guys who are in a relationship now. The actually, let me close this off. So the half of you guys who are in a relationship, let's see if you would benefit from leaving. Okay, calm down, cards please. Leaving or getting professional help. So let's do 2 piles. Okay, and second one. One more card. Okay. Please pause the video and pick. This is pile 1, pile 2. For the half of you guys who are in a relationship, is it best to leave or seek professional help? So pause the video if you need some more time to choose. Okay, so those of you who picked this one, that's definitely a leave. With the Three of Swords reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed, the King of Wands reversed, I'm not seeing consistent effort, especially on the male's part, to make this relationship work. With the Three of Swords reversed, it's like, yeah, sometimes you may heal a little bit from some arguments or some disappointments, or especially this person might be being unfaithful to you, again with the Wands and the Three of Swords. And you may feel like, okay, it's over or whatnot, and then when you think it's over and you're starting to heal a little bit, there's a bit of a period of maybe rest. Again with that Four of Swords, it's like it comes back. With the Three of Swords, it's like a return of the energy, and it's a cycle that's not going to end. Again, specifically the male energy is not really willing to put enough energy into making it work, so it's best to just call it quits. For those of you who pick the second one, the second one could go either way. It could go either way if you guys are willing to collaborate. It could work for those of you who pick the second subgroup here, but it could also not work. It's almost like a 50-50 for you guys. If both of you guys are willing to put in the equal amounts of effort, it could work. So some of you guys, it could work, and others of you guys, I do see that you're going to go to counseling, you're going to try to make it work, and it may help a little bit, but ultimately you may come to the decision that it's best to just separate and get the divorce anyways. But I do see, for those of you guys who pick this group, this one, if you do end up separating and getting the divorce, I do see it being a more harmonious split, and less heavy emotions involved as with the first subgroup here. The first subgroup, I see, it may be chaotic and that sort of stuff. With this subgroup, you guys will be able to co-parent. If you have kids, you'll be able to co-parent decently well. You'll be able to be decent acquaintances and friends, and just get along decently enough for there to not be much animosity between the two of you guys. And again, if you do have kids, I do see a balanced duo home environment situation if you guys do get divorced. And then half of you guys in this subgroup here will end up working it out and staying together. Okay, so let's move on to the other half of you guys who are single. What's going on? And definitely I'm seeing like you're like someone maybe hurt you in the past, or you may be feeling like, oh yeah, okay. So those of you who are single, you're single in this group, you're thinking, okay, I was hurt in the past, or something with that Page of Cups. It's like you're not really into it for whatever reason, and you're not looking with that Three of Wands in reverse. You're focusing on other things. You're not focused on love or romantic relationships, but you're kind of deluding yourself, because otherwise this reading would not have come up for you. You're kind of deluding yourself and thinking like, okay, I'm okay being alone with the outsider card. I'm okay being a loner, but that outsider card is right next to the love conquers all card, where it's like you actually, your soul truly wants enduring loyalty, eternal love, lasting commitment, as it says on that card. But because maybe something happened in the past, or maybe something that you viewed growing up with your parents or whatnot, you kind of feel, or people around you kind of feel like a lasting commitment, the eternal love doesn't really exist, and you're trying to protect yourself from what you feel is the inevitable demise of a relationship, or that it never really working out and that sort of stuff. But like I said, your soul is actually yearning for some kind of eternal love and loyalty, enduring loyalty. With the Fool card here, it's like, again, going on a journey with that Fool, taking a step. The Fool doesn't really know heartache. The Fool doesn't know anything. The Fool is the first card in the major arcana. The Fool is brand new. It's almost like a baby. So you need to go back out. You're being encouraged to go back out in the dating scene and see everything from a fresh perspective. Give everyone a fresh chance. Don't really bring things from the past and drag them into the next journey of your life. The Fool doesn't have baggage. The traditional depiction, they just have this very small little sack where you can barely hold anything in that sack. And then of course in this depiction, she has absolutely nothing. She doesn't even have a purse. She doesn't even have shoes on. So let go of the restrictions here with the Eight of Swords. The restrictions, leave them in the past. You're being urged to get back out on the dating scene because you are deluding yourself here and thinking that, okay, I will be okay being alone, or I'm completely happy being alone. But in fact, your soul is urging her to connect with someone. Here we have the Three of Cups, and we have, the Four of Pentacles. It's like you are used to being by yourself, or like keeping things close to your chest, or keeping things cooped up. But with the Four of Pentacles being reversed, it's like a time to let loose and go back out into the scene. With the Three of Cups, maybe go out, go to bars, or just go to gatherings where you can meet people with that Three of Cups. And it could also be about friendships, finding new friends as well, enduring and long-lasting friendship relationships as well. Because you're kind of lonely by yourself, you don't really have many friends. It could be for some of you guys, it may not necessarily be a romantic relationship, but I am seeing romance for a lot of you guys. But even at least like get more friends, especially if you recently moved to a new town or city or whatnot, or moved to a new company and you feel like you don't know anyone around you and that sort of stuff. You're being urged to get into activities, groups, and go out and to meet new people, and to stop being cooped up and to let loose again, okay? And don't bring the past disappointments into the future with you. So those are messages. I hope that helped you. I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading.